With the 2020 presidential race already in high gear, the Democratic Party has been advocating policies which appear to many to be radical. Medicare for all would eliminate the private sector from the nation's healthcare system and shift control to the federal government. But even more radical is the left's so-called Green New Deal, named after FDR's New Deal during the Depression. It's an idea advocated by several Democratic presidential candidates. I'm Tim Donner with 5 facts about this Green New Deal, which is sure to be the subject of much discussion in the run-up to next year's presidential election. Fact 1. The Green New Deal is designed to address a lot more than just climate change. This idea of a full-scale transformation of the American economy was first advocated by the Green Party in the 2016 election. But the driving force behind it these days is 29-year-old freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who wrote to her fellow members of Congress that her proposed legislation is a, quote, national, social, industrial, and economic mobilization at a scale not seen since World War II, unquote. Presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren have endorsed this Green New Deal, with other Democratic candidates likely to follow suit. Fact 2. The primary goal of the Green New Deal proposal is national net zero greenhouse gas emissions. Those who embrace the theory of catastrophic climate change believe that the coming climate-based disasters can be avoided by reducing the world's carbon footprint. Thus, the program would eliminate the fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, which generate power for the vast majority of Americans. But developing nations with high-growth economies, primarily China and India, will still be leaving massive carbon footprints, begging the question of just how much difference America's program would make as one of 200 nations in the world. Fact 3. Advocates claim the full employment component of this program would create 25 million new jobs in the transformation to a future based on 100% renewable energy. Under this legislation, the federal government would guarantee not just employment for every American, but also the right to a, quote, living wage, government-provided health care, and government-funded education from pre-K through college. Fact 4. The massive cost of transforming the nation's energy and economy would be borne by taxpayers. The Green New Deal is estimated to cost at least $7 trillion, a very rough estimate. And as yet undetermined is the increased cost to individual households for heating their homes, driving their cars, and the many other things which require energy. How would the cost be covered? Well, quoting from the proposed legislation, quote, the federal government, using a combination of the Federal Reserve, a new public bank or system of regional and specialized public banks, public venture funds, and such other vehicles or structures that the Select Committee deems appropriate in order to ensure that interest and other investment returns generated from public investments made in connection with the plan will be returned to the Treasury, reduce taxpayer burden, and allow for more investment, unquote. And that brings us to fact 5. Renewable sources of energy are incapable of producing the power necessary for many industrial tasks. While solar power and wind power are readily available, they are insufficient to drive a jet engine or power an industrial plant. So how would we avoid massive disruptions in commerce and transportation with this Green New Deal? Those questions are as yet unanswered. Most Americans embrace the ideal of renewable, environmentally friendly energy, but at what cost and to what end? As we've shown here, the Green New Deal is about a lot more than just reducing carbon emissions. The program would result in the virtual elimination of the current American systems of energy, banking, and commerce to be replaced by programs run by the federal government. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it here and subscribe to the LibertyNation.com YouTube channel for more of these 5 Facts videos, author interviews and roundtables, Liberty Nation Radio, our podcast, The Uprising, and more. I'm Tim Dunner. Thanks for watching.